Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading this morning from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 14 and text number 45. Uchucha Suhrida Krishnam. Uchuscha Suhrida Krishnam. Svagatam te tiram hasa. Svagatam te tiram hasa. Naikopya bhoji kavala. Naikopya bhoji kavala. Ehita sadhu bhujyatam. Ehita sadhu bhujyatam. Uchuscha suhrida Krishnam. Swagatam te tiram hasa. Naikopya bhoji kavala. Ehita sadhu bhujyatam. Please someone. Uchu, they spoke. Cha, and Suhrida, the friends. Krishnam, to Lord Krishna. Suagatam, have come all the way back. Te, you. Atiram hasa, very quickly. Na, not. Eka, one. Api, even. Aboji, has been eaten. Kavala, morsel. Ehi, please come. Ita, here. Sadhu, interesting, properly. Sadhu means properly, proper. No? Bhujyatam, take your meal. Translation. The cowherd boy, friends, said to Lord Krishna, "You have returned so quickly. You have not eaten even one morsel. No, we have not eaten even one morsel in your absence. Please come here and take your meal without distraction." Commentary by Sri Vishwanati Chakravarti Thakur. Where is it? Here. After congratulating Svagatam Te, Krishna for having brought the calves back so quickly, Atiramhasa, from the forest, the cowherd boys said, Uchu, we thought you would take at least a half an hour to bring back the calves, who had wandered far away, but you have brought them in an instant. You have brought them in an instant. Without you, we have not eaten a morsel, so please come here. So as Srila Prabhupada describes in Krishna book, the cowherd boys were very eager for Krishna to eat. But they didn't tell him, oh, just come and eat, right? Because Krishna is, he's most detached, he's most renounced, and so on. So the cowherd boy know if we tell him, no, you come and eat because you're hungry. Krishna will say, no, you eat first, like that. Let's do something else. And there is another instance like that when pastime with the Yagya Brahmanas, when Krishna took cowherd boys in the forest deliberately on some way where there were no fruits and they didn't get also breakfast because they left very early. And so they didn't eat like very long time till noon or something. So everybody was really hungry. So the cowherd boys thought, okay, Krishna must be hungry, so let's arrange something to eat. But the cowherd boys knew, exactly like here, when we tell him, you're hungry, so you eat something, he would say, no, let's play, let's do something else. Because he would like that they feel pleasure of pastimes and playing. So therefore the cowherd boys, like here, they said, we didn't eat anything yet, we were waiting for you, so, we're really hungry. So you come and eat. Okay, so, go, you're hungry, okay. The same happened with this pastime of Yagya Brahmanas. No? That boys told Krishna, we are so hungry, we didn't eat anything. And then Krishna immediately, okay, let's arrange some food for you. He wouldn't be so eager to arrange something for him. But in this case, when the boys told him, we're really hungry, so okay, let's eat. We don't speak about calves now and all other things which might have happened when I was not there. Right? Let's eat. Like that. So and then yes, and later, when they went back to the village and they were all enjoying, and he said that Yogamaya was keeping the snake still intact for all this time. So the boys didn't wonder, okay, what happened now to the snake, which was killed, 10 minutes ago. Yeah? So Yogamaya arranged all that. The cowherd boys saw, the snake, and they told the pastime in the village when they went back to their homes. Mm-hmm. So this is the mood of Vrindavan. The mood of Vrindavan is of all-pervading love, the sweetest love ever. There is no other feeling there that contradicts the love, or can be greater, or anything else. Sometimes we hear, that, it is like, there's one story I heard from one sannyasi. I don't know where he got it from. He was saying that there was once a cowherd boy, and Krishna asked him to fetch some water from Yamuna, to get some water from Yamuna. So this cowherd boy was running to Yamuna very quickly, but it was really hot and he felt really hot. And then he thought, okay, before I bring Krishna the water, then I take a quick bath in Yamuna. So he jumped in Yamuna, and at this moment he just landed in material world, because he did something wrong there. He didn't consider Krishna's service first, or whatever was the reason. But then he landed in material world, and he was going through all kinds of, material bodies and so on. And at the end, he got liberated and went there, and he went out of Yamuna and thought, I was bringing Krishna water, and he got water and ran, like that, And Krishna was looking at him, you came back, very nice, I was waiting for you. So I don't know where is the story coming from. I didn't have a chance to ask, but it doesn't seem very bona fide. I mean, if it's like that, if you just by slight deviation, what seems to be deviation, from serving to your death, so to say, figuratively speaking, you just fall in material world. How it is different from like places like North Korea, where when you speak something a little bit different that your leader doesn't, if you cry a little bit too little when your leader of the country is, sad, then you go to concentration camp, and your whole family. So how is the Goloka Vrindavan different from North Korea if you take this approach? You have to all the time focus. Okay, what I'm doing is right for Krishna, or I will fall down now. Where is the love? It's like, you all the time have to watch yourself. Did I do something wrong? Oh no, maybe I fall down. Maybe Krishna keeps me out. So, as I said, I don't know where is the story coming from, but I don't think it's a bona fide story from any scripture. Because when we read Bhagavatam, when we read even Vishnu Purana and Padma Purana, there is a lot of more about Radharani, and we read scriptures of Goswamis. Everything is about love. The love is the highest principle. And it's not that Srimati Radharani has to go to Krishna or other gopis, that they have to, Krishna is calling now, we have to go now because we fall down, or whatever. No. No. Their mood is, Krishna needs us, and maybe he feels bad without us. I go. Because out of love, the gopis don't want to hurt Krishna or see him hurting in any way. And the same Krishna, he doesn't like to see his devotees hurting. So he is doing service for them, out of love, out of reciprocation. And there's this, Srila Prabhupada writes, there's this ongoing competition. Who serves more to whom? If the devotees serve to Krishna or Krishna serve to his devotees. And everything is out of love, of pure love, all-pervading love, and there is nothing else than that. There is no other principle of service in Goloka Vrindavan. Yes, and that is total different mood than is what we have in this material world. Because in the material world, everything is based on manipulation. Like we have these next verses here, when Shukadeva Goswami speaks that in this world, everybody is just considered about himself. And is only taking care, the person thinks that the body is itself, and the embodied soul is self-centered. He is more attached to his own body and self than to his so-called possessions like children, wealth, and home. So in this material world, it's everything about manipulation and control. That's the mood here. And we have experiences of again and again. Like there's like the couple, let's say, and there is always in a marriage, there's a competition. Who has the control? It's always about control. Not always, but like 99.9999% of the time. Who is in control here? And sometimes somebody gets a control over the spouse or his or her spouse, and then the spouse looks for some help, goes to some therapy or a psychiatrist, or joins Hare Krishna movement, starts to chant, become devotee, and the spouse is losing control. So she or he takes the spouse from out of this environment, out of the therapy, out of the Hare Krishna movement, or whatever counseling, coaching she or he might be getting, because I'm losing control, and even manipulates the other, and his partner or her partner in the way to make sure that he will not lose a control over this person. So it's all about manipulation, and that's like predominant mood in this material world. We can say, oh, okay, there's also envy. Yes, but envy is part of that. Lets me manipulate them more than they manipulate me. I'll be the greatest controller, like that. So that's what all this stuff is going on. This is why everybody is suffering in this material world. If you just want to control someone else and that's your highest pleasure, you'll be alone. You'll be like a really lonely person, right? And then you live all the time in fear. If I lose the control, I will lose the people that I control, then I will be even more lonely. If this person gets out of my grasp, then what will be with me? I will be then alone. Who will I control? Who will I manipulate? Who will love me? Okay? Because that's another illusion here. We think if you manipulate someone into staying with me or being there, then they will love you, right? They must love you. That's another North Korea reference we can make here. So that is the mood here. And unfortunately, we take this mood also in the Krishna consciousness movement. Like listen to Prabhupada, how often he said that the purpose of this movement is to make everyone happy. But how we can make everyone happy if everybody is going after control? There's only as many people and as many money, as many temples you can control. Right? And even on the highest levels in our movement, like GBC levels, you see sometimes behavior that is really embarrassing, even from karma point of view, like that. So it's very sad. We take this material consciousness, even in Krishna consciousness movement, and then we try to make ourselves comfortable here, like that. And instead of focusing on or getting rid of those material attachments and traumas and intentions and anything else, we focus on how to make them even better and how to even make them bigger. We see often in our movement it happens, like that. So it is very sad. It is very sad that instead of concentrating of love and a loving relationship with the devotees, we make some game of throne here or game of power. Who is the highest guy? That's okay, when you have like new bhaktas, they still so much in their kanishta and whatever behavior. But if after so many years in the movement, by chanting and trying to serve Krishna, you still interested only, what is my position, what do I get from that, then it's really something seriously wrong. We have to watch out ourselves, watch out for these qualities, what we develop. As we know that the weeds are growing much faster than anything else. Like there is even, we have a joke in Poland, if you have a garden and you don't know which one is the weed and which one is the real plant, then you pluck everything out. And this what grows back, these are the weeds. So it is like that. The weeds are growing like anything. You water everything and you see and your strawberries or whatever, then you have to look for them within the weeds. So yes, this process, it can water anything in our hearts. It can water bhakti, it can water love, connection, loving relationship, but it also can water the weeds. The weeds of manipulation of our demoniac sides, which are very much present. We should not think that Bhagavatam or other Shastras, they are exaggerating. We know in Satya Yuga, it is stated in Satya Yuga, the demons were living on the other planets, and they were separated from the devotees. The devotees and demons were living on other planets. Like in Treta Yuga, they were living in different kingdoms. They were already closer. In Dvapara Yuga, they were living in different families. There was demoniac family and devotee family. But in Kali Yuga, demons and devotees, they live in the same body. Right? And it's not an exaggeration. Some of you may have this experience already. There are demoniac entities who enter your body and you manipulate you. And if you water them, if you give them attention and power, well, they will grow, not your devotional side. And instead of your soul getting developed and enlivened and growing, the demoniac qualities will be taking over. So it's very important to understand that. And everyone has this tendency to control, everyone has this tendency to manipulate. Because everything for me and my. So Shukadeva Goswami gives us in few verses the answer to that, how we can start actually to change our consciousness. And very simple instruction by Shukadeva Goswami, by Sutta Goswami, Shukadeva Goswami. If a person comes to the stage of considering the body mine instead of me, okay? You understand it? We think, that's me, I am the body. Right? So the first stage is, you have to consider the body to be mine and not me. You have to understand, this material thing is not me. It's just something I use, like a car. Car is not you. It's something you get in, you use it, you get out. If it breaks, you get another car, okay, or repair it, whatever. So that's the first stage. Like, this is not me. So everything what is around this body belongs to that body, or you think it belongs to the body, or the body wants. It is not what you want. It's not what the soul wants. Okay? It's very simple instruction, but it's actually very deep. It goes really, really deep. Then how much money you can have, how much food you can eat, okay? How many girlfriends or boyfriends you can have, okay? How many children you can have to control, if you can control your children, guys, no? And like that. And how many other people can you control, right? With this body, which is, breaking, which is getting sick, and which dies at the end, okay? So if you really understand that the soul has nothing to do with all of that, and also what I'm trying to control is bodies of different people, right? Some other material elements I'm trying to control. I cannot control the soul of someone, right? It's like No, there are so many, maybe a little bit cruel examples, like from Inquisition times and so on. Like people were tortured because you think, yeah, I get this person, torture and get some, but the person just died. The soul just left. Okay, and there's many examples like that. People just die of broken heart or something. They just die, and you think, wow, why this person left? Yeah? Even like Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, all the devotees were telling, please stay a little longer. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati was saying, no, I have too much. I'm just leaving. No? Although he had so many disciples, he had mission, and so on. But he, the soul just desired to go back to Krishna. Yeah. And what's from if you read about Prabhupada, was more or less the same. Prabhupada could have stayed longer, but he just somehow, gave it up. He said, no, it's enough. Even astrologically, Prabhupada was supposed to live, I think, 10 years longer or something like that. No? They made some chart. I don't know how many years, but some years longer he was supposed. No? So that's the element you cannot control. Somebody's soul, someone, actually, some real self. No? You can try to control the bodies. You can try to control this mic. I can move it like that. It's that matter, so I can do it to some extent. But still, there is also limits. I cannot move this mic like to the ceiling. It's like I would have to get some leather and stuff. So there's even limit to what you can control and how you can control. If I try to move this thing, I have to really make a lot of endeavor. It's really heavy. Like that. I would have to stand up and try to move it. So there is limits to this material control that you can have. And we cannot even control our bodies. When you eat your feast on Gaura Purnima, you cannot sleep. You cannot say, they just digest it. Like there was the Agyasta Muni. He could just say, be digested. And the food was digested. Okay? We don't have even that control. Right? Like the great munis they have. And here is something paining, and here is this, and I have some mental problems. I have some attachments. I'm crying because of attachments. Okay? Or somebody looked at me like that, or somebody touched me like this, or like somebody told me something. So we're totally broken, even in these bodies, and we still think, okay, I can control something. But that's unfortunately very deeply rooted contamination in our hearts. Like Prabhupada said sometimes, in the penna, how is it in penna? The beggar is proud of his penny. At least I have a penny now. I can control the penny. I can buy something. Nowadays not anymore, but previous times, you could buy something for a penny. And if you don't have that, then at least you have some place to sleep. That's my place to sleep. Like sometimes in Heidelberg we went for Harinam, and it was already like late and dark, sometimes in winter. And we saw this, homeless people. There they had always their own spot under one roof or by one shop. You could see all the time the same people laying in the same places on the main street in Heidelberg. So they don't have anything, but at least I have this place. And sometimes we're quarreling, like, no, I sleep here, you go somewhere else. That's my jewelry shop, I sleep here. Like that, So always you find something. And sometimes some devotees told me that, that they were really thinking, because the Goswamis, they used to sleep each time under a different tree, right? Not to get attached to sleeping place. And once one devotee was also telling me, how is possible you can get, attached to a sleeping place, But then somebody came to the temple in Brahmacharya ashram and put his sleeping bag on the place where this devotee was usually sleeping. I was just so disturbed. I was sleeping. So brahmachari has almost nothing, few devotees and this, but a sleeping place, somebody took it from me. Yeah. So so Krishna plays tricks like this on us to show us our attachment, to show us our contaminations, like how much we are still attached to all kinds of crazy material concepts, and how much we can actually move even to protect them. We lie, we steal, we do all kinds of stuff. We accuse others. That's very common nowadays. Just make some accusation. There's no reason for that. You have no proof, but yes, make something up. Why not? Somebody's getting too successful or too big or whatever. Get him down. Make some lies. If there's no fault, just create some faults. Like Ramachandra, Puri, Balaram Chaitanya. Yeah. All material stuff. But now we know that Krishna is in control. Krishna is in control, so he gives someone a trouble in this way that some people may spread lies about him. No? And he teaches those people who spread the lies and make politics in different way. He takes them really down, and they have to suffer for that. So, ultimately, Krishna is always in control. And he directs everyone out of love, not out of cruelty, but out of love. He directs everyone how to get out of this material world. And you will get what you need. You will get exactly this what you need. So if something comes to you, don't think, I didn't deserve it. It shouldn't be happening to me. I'm so nice guy or a girl. I did so much service. I did this and that. And now this happens to me. Well, maybe look in your heart why this is happening to you, right? Don't go blaming others. Look in your heart, what you have to give up. What kind of mentality you have. What you need to change about yourself. Or maybe just sit and chant. If you're distressed, why you just don't sit and chant? Some extra rounds or much more rounds. To get purified. But rather we would go, no, it's his fault, her fault, and she, and he, and so on. And if this didn't happen, then like that. It's very much material mentality still in us. So therefore there's this stories in Bhagavatam, therefore we have so many books written about Krishna and his dealings, that you understand. He's dealing with us in the utmost level of love. There's no other intention in him. And he's loving us much more than we love him. Actually, we even turned away from him like that. So we need to understand from those stories that that's where we are going, to the loving place. And if somebody can help us with that, we should look for that person. We should really hankering for this person. Just help me, how I can get to this level. And not be envious and trying to put others down. Oh, this guru, he's, but make some lies. Make some investigation. We have so many investigators around nowadays. Don't go on these pages. You will get angry and crazy for no reason. This is And also important, when it happened to us, okay, we should also not be like, okay, why this person is accusing me? Why is this happening? I'm really trying. Take it, look at your heart, okay, what do you need to change? What do you need to give up? The Ramachandra Puri was there for a reason. It helped Lord Chaitanya to be more self-controlled, we can say. Okay. What? Can I tell the pastime? Yeah, maybe. You don't know? So Ramachandra Puri was Oh yeah, he was a god brother of Guru of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was initiated by Madhavendra Puri, yes. So he was even criticizing his spiritual master, Madhavendra Puri, so therefore he kicked him out. But when he came to Lord Chaitanya, no, he was always looking for faults, like that. And sometimes even there was no fault. Once Ramachandra Puri came to the hut or to the place where Lord Chaitanya was staying, and he was really looking around, and he said, "Look, there are ants on the floor." The ants on the floor means he's eating in this room and he's eating sweets. So he appears to be so, renounced and holy, but at night he eats sweets in his room. That's the proof. There are ants here, right? And even it is said in some place that when Ramachandra Puri visited Lord Chaitanya earlier, he spread some sugar there. So there's a mentality of such people. There's no fault. Let's create some fault. But Lord Chaitanya, he took it as a blessing, and it was, I was really struggling why Ramachandra Puri was there at all. Until one day I really understood it. Because Lord Chaitanya was so in this ecstatic mood in Jagannath Puri all the time. He was just spreading all this love and devotion like anything, and showing his ecstasies, so to say. But the problem is that most of the people couldn't understand them. So they would be criticizing him or thinking he was crazy. Actually, there's even books written from scholars, now professors, who were describing Lord Chaitanya as he totally mentally disturbed, with all kinds of. They even describe what kind of sickness he had, and he was considered to be holy, like that. Nice. So that was the reason Ramachandra Puri was there, because then Lord Chaitanya, he was like controlling himself then, and he was not giving he was not showing his ecstasy so freely to everyone. So the other people wouldn't misunderstand him. So he was only with a really tight group of the devotees. He was then really showing all full ecstasy. So this person was there. Actually, it is even written that is Ramachandra Puri is an incarnation or party incarnation of Jatila. Yeah, so Jatila, we know she's famous of getting on case of Krishna, right? So Ramachandra Puri was getting on the case of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually arranged it in this way, because then he had to, restrain himself from showing too much. So sometimes we need such Ramachandra Puris for some reason, people who criticize us, not to change something in ourselves, to look deeper in ourselves, like that. Yes, everything what happens is for a reason. And if you don't know the reason, well, just surrender. That's another meaning of surrender. Just surrender and wait. Right? I don't understand what is happening to me. Let's see. But Krishna takes care of me. Krishna will show me. At one day I will understand it. Maybe in 20 years, but I will understand it. Yeah. If you don't want to wait, you have to invent a time machine and just move forward and ask yourself in the future. Yeah, the time travel is not possible, unfortunately. It would be much more easy. Anyway, so that's all what I have to say on this subject. Maybe there are some comments or questions, or somebody wants to share something. Yes?
The story goes that Krishna actually Brahma stole the cows and the calves, and after 1 year, then he came back, and the cowherd boys, and they said, "Oh, you're so quick back."
Mm-hmm.
But normally, when in this time this happened, we have a calendar, and we would see that 1 year there's a gap of 1 year. cowherd boys, they came, after 1 year they came home and 1 year was passed. So it doesn't mean that they have no time calculation at that time in Vrindavan.
Now, how often have you been concerned with the calendar when you were 5 years old? For the cowherd men and gopis, for them, 1 year passed. And because Krishna expanded himself with all those forms, for them it was all normal. The cowherd boys, when did you look at the calendar when you were like 5, Birthday, or Christmas, yeah. So, for them, it was, no, Krishna went and came back, and they were not like, okay, how much time? Yeah. For them, it was not important.
Is something interesting? The cowherd boy, I'm 5, and then the parents say, no, you are 6.
Yeah, well, okay, then I'm 6,
This birthday was.
Yeah, I understand it, but it's just, it is children, You ask child, how old are you? This much, They have totally different consciousness, Even materialistic, normal children here, that are living in a different world, After 7, then they get, a little more connected to the outside world. But under 7, they were just 5 actually, for them, it doesn't matter. Krishna was not there, and he was there in seconds. It seems for them, all okay. Let's eat. But it is said that Yoga Maya took care about that, because the snake to the boys, he was still looking like just killed. Like in Krishna book, Prabhupada describes that it dried out and so on. But when the boys look at the snake, he was still like with blood and freshly killed. And then when they went next day, then he was looking more like 1 year old. For them it was, it just dried. Let's play there now in the like that. So even that Yoga Maya was careful to not confuse the boys in this way. So she is the perfect servant there.
It must be,
Yeah.
not in the Krishna book any mention about the confusion about age.
Okay, any other comments?
This was a nice point you made about letting go of control. So when something happens to us, to try to see, what is there that I have to let go and learn from that. I'm just thinking it's maybe sometimes harder to give up the need to teach others, in that same situation, the mistake that they did. So okay, I can learn something from what I have to give up, but how to really give up this need to teach others and show them. Because deeply out of compassion you might want to also express what they have to learn from it.
Yeah, so there's a few points here. Teaching others, yes. Well, first of all, you teach someone when he or she comes to you. That's the golden rule. You don't go around unless you're kind of empowered and tell people do this and change that and like that. So it's like golden rule. You don't teach anyone who didn't accept you as a guru, so to say. If somebody accepts you, then you can teach the person. Okay. The second part is it has to be done in the right consciousness, like you said, compassion. We don't want people suffer, of course, so we try to be compassionate and so on. And if you are loving and compassionate, people can take it. They can see, okay, she is really trying to help me, so let me see what she has to say, like that. So if you are in the right consciousness, non-envious and non-controlling and so on, the people will be able to accept it, and you can share your experience with them. And another point here is, now, if you get in this role of I have to show people something, I have to teach them and stuff, it very quickly happens that Krishna puts you in the right position. You make some really stupid mistake, because you are so advanced now, and you say something or you do something. So Krishna, here you are, not there. Stay here. Like that. So Krishna will correct you very quickly, usually, which is also good. No? It's good for you, but it's also good. It means that Krishna cares. That you don't make offenses, that you don't harm someone or hurt someone like that. So if you pulled down from whatever place you thought you were, it's good. It's that Krishna took care of you personally. Okay? He sent you something, some person or some criticism or whatever, that you found your place again. And this happens all the time, actually. So we just have to see Krishna's hand in it. Krishna said that my devotees are under my personal care. So it's not Maya just doing something, or not others are doing something to you, right? Krishna personally cares, and he helps you in whatever way he sees is best. That's the only thing he considered. What is best for us? He doesn't consider how he will feel or how she will feel. Or maybe she will lose something, or she will lose all the money, or all the positions, or this and that. And Krishna looks, no, it's the best. I'm sorry, but I have to do it. Like that. And then we learn from that. Then Krishna is even more happy, and he takes us even more up. He really carries us in his hands all the time.
You're mentioning the positive role of Ramachandra Puri. How can we understand that these mentalities or qualities in us to teach us what?
The qualities of Ramachandra Puri or Lord Chaitanya?
Criticizing
Tendencies. How to see them? Positive. How I can criticize and stay positive about that? No,
because you said that Ramachandra Puri's, so to say, positive mission was to make Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to behave in a certain way which would be eventually beneficial for people who couldn't understand this actually.
Yeah. So how to see it? I'm still a little bit confused about the question. How to see when somebody criticizes or somebody is around us who always criticizes us?
No, in our hearts, in our mentalities, there are different criticizing elements. Also, so how do we positively deal with them, and not just you need to.
Okay. If you have such a tendencies, of course, the best thing is to just go to the root, why I have them, and get the root out. Okay, which is not always easy, or you don't always get the help to do that, because by yourself is very difficult. No? So if you notice such tendencies, in Kali Yuga we have a good, nice blessing. Is that for the offenses made in the mind, you don't get reactions. Okay. So if you need to, because you cannot control stuff, you cannot control your feelings. You can just transform them. But you cannot control. You cannot push them. They become just stronger. So you think like you have to criticize someone, and you really need to say it. So just make it in your mind. The steam is out. Get the steam out. And okay. And outwardly you don't do anything. Maybe then you serve to this person to overcome your tendency to criticize that person. The serving to the person is really always the best way to overcome this criticism in yourself. Like that. So I would suggest that kind of stuff. You know. Just go for it, but in your mind. Don't do anything outwardly. And once all is out, you said everything you need to say. I'm sorry. Okay. And the point is, you have to always remember one important point, like everybody has his own or her battle inside. Battle, fight, battle. Yeah. No. Which we don't know about. Yeah. So if you really understand it, and even somebody does something nasty to you, if you understand, okay, maybe she or he actually has really something going on inside there, then you just be kind to everyone. Because we don't know what this person is going through. It may be like she or he feels this is like the end of their life. Like they lost something, or they're grieving, or so much in pain, or whatever, Or they had some traumas in the past. So you always be then kind to them. And if you serve such a person who you want to actually criticize, but you serve and you notice the battle that is going inside, then you actually understand, okay, I was wrong. Wow, this person is really trying. Yeah. So therefore, that's always the best way. Just if you want to criticize somebody, try to serve this person. As I say, if you really need, then just do it in your mind. Like, imagine the person in front of you and say whatever you need to say. Okay, it's gone. Good. Now I can go on my way. Okay? I don't have to bother with this anymore. So that's what I would suggest.
Was one very interesting point what you made about this story, which you don't know where it's coming from. And I was wondering actually that Krishna gives somebody a mission to do, and they used to be qualified to be there, and so it means that he deviated, or actually a sign that he was not qualified for being in that association and doing something for Krishna. Because if somebody is really Krishna conscious, he would not think about deviating the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And I once myself had after the fall of my spiritual master, then I was thinking myself that I should take shelter of Krishna and see Prabhu as my spiritual master. Of course, he is a spiritual master. But then I had a dream, and in that dream, Prabhupada was there, sitting behind his desk, and he had a headache. So, and I said, Prabhupada, I can massage you. So I was massaging his neck. He said, afterwards, he said, no, it doesn't work. So he get me some painkiller or something. So then I went, and I came here up in the corridor, and there was one devotee, and he said, he opened the drawer, and he said, looks, all kinds of ladus there. And I wrote on the ladus, and I forgot the service to Prabhupada, and then I woke up, and I realized I'm not qualified to serve Prabhupada directly, although maybe I had the intention. So I had to think that story.
Yes, so that's maybe true, okay, but in our position, but otherwise, how would the person get then there to Goloka Vrindavan in first place? No, it's not qualified. If you're not fully qualified, but you have the real love for Krishna, you get born in the material world, in the Vrindavan where Krishna is there, in the what's called Bhauma Vrindavan. No? Yeah. And then you finish your training, like that. No? So if somebody is already in spiritual world and with Krishna, he is, or she, actually we are all she there, is qualified. No?
So then the explanation is that it's Lila. If the story is true, then the only explanation that is Lila.
It may be. It may be. I mean, I never found the story anywhere in the Shastras, and I didn't have chance to ask the sannyasi where he got it from. So I have no idea. But the way it was told, it's just not true. Maybe he missed something, maybe he misunderstood something, or maybe there was some wrong translation. And some Indians, they translate the Puranas and stuff just as they think. I don't know, but the story is just wrong. Yeah. Yeah. So. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, Mataji.
You said about that in Kali-yuga offenses in the mind, are not calculated, but at the same time they're calculated, because when the mentality is bad, it works on your system, on your body.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, the reaction is there.
Mm-hmm.
Negative, you think
Mm-hmm.
you affect.
Yes, that is happening when you're trying to control your feelings. You're pushing them away. They take over. Okay? If you, as I said, if you don't get your steam out, it will break you. You will explode. Okay? Like people trying to control the anger. I'm not getting angry. No, just pushing it down, pushing down, until that at one point totally unfitting, it just explode, and everybody thinks, "Whoa, what's going on?" Huh? So that's the point here. If you just cultivate those feelings in the mind, we going around and around, or we pushing. No, I'm devotee. I shouldn't have this. I shouldn't. They will just grow so much up, and it will manifest in outward way. Okay. So we have to deal with those feelings. We have to accept them. They are there. We have to look at them. We have to feel them, and then we can let it out in whatever way is needed. Like with anger, if you're getting angry, just go to the forest, get some stick, beat some rocks. Okay. Okay. You dealt with that. But if you're pushing, and whichever feeling it is, whichever criticism it is, if you're pushing back, it will just kick you back where it's really paining. Okay, and that's how it gets outside, because we're trying to control them, so to say, control. We cannot control them. We have to acknowledge, we have to accept, and we have to do something about that. Yeah? Otherwise, it will manifest from subtle to gross. Okay. Thank you very much. Radhadesh Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.